Imagine walking through a forest where mist wraps around ancient trees, the air is thick with mystery, and every step takes you deeper into a world straight out of a dream. These cloud forests aren't just magical, they're otherworldly. Ready to explore 7 stunning places where you can literally walk through the clouds? Let's dive in! Monteverde Cloud Forest Reserve, Costa Rica. Imagine stepping into a place where the world feels like a dream, where mist rolls over ancient trees, the air hums with the sound of nature, and every step takes you deeper into a lush, emerald paradise. Welcome to Monteverde Cloud Forest Reserve, a real-life fantasy in Costa Rica. As you walk through the dense trails, you'll feel the cool moisture in the air, created by the low-hanging clouds that drape over the towering trees. The forest is alive. Hummingbirds zip past like tiny, colorful bullets, howler monkeys call from the treetops, and if you're lucky, you might even spot the legendary resplendent quetzal, a bird so beautiful it looks like it belongs in a fairy tale. One of the most thrilling experiences here? The iconic hanging bridges. These sky-high walkways let you walk above the clouds, offering breathtaking panoramic views of the mist-covered treetops. It's an experience like no other. You'll feel like you're floating in another world. And if you're a night owl, don't miss the night tour. When the sun sets, the forest transforms. Glow-in-the-dark fungi, silent prowling ocelots, and thousands of tiny fireflies make the darkness come alive. If you've ever dreamed of walking through a magical, untouched world, Monteverde is your ticket there. Santa Elena Cloud Forest Reserve, Costa Rica. What if I told you there's a cloud forest that's even quieter, wilder, and more untouched than Monteverde? Just a short drive away, hidden in the mountains of Costa Rica, lies the Santa Elena Cloud Forest Reserve, a secret paradise where nature thrives without the crowds. The moment you step onto the trails, you'll notice the silence. Not the empty kind, but a deep, almost sacred quiet, filled with the whispers of rustling leaves and distant bird calls. This place feels like a portal to another time, where nature still rules. Unlike Monteverde, which is more famous, Santa Elena feels mystical, remote, and personal. The trails wind through towering ferns, moss-covered trees, and waterfalls hidden in the fog. And if you're a birdwatcher, get ready for a treat. The forest is home to over 400 bird species, including hummingbirds that hover just inches from your face, tiny tanagers that look like flying jewels, and the elusive quetzal. One of the coolest things here, the hidden observation tower. It's not just a viewpoint, it's a front-row seat to nature's masterpiece. Climb up, and you'll find yourself above the clouds, staring at a sea of mist rolling over the endless green canopy. It's so surreal you might feel like you're dreaming. If you want to experience a true escape, one where the modern world disappears and only nature remains, Santa Elena is the place to be. Maquipucuna Cloud Forest Reserve, Ecuador. Ever wanted to explore a cloud forest where wild bears roam free? Welcome to Maquipucuna Cloud Forest Reserve in Ecuador, a hidden gem where the mist-covered jungle hides some of the world's most fascinating creatures. Nestled just an hour from Quito, this reserve is one of the most biodiverse places on the planet. Walking its trails feels like stepping into a National Geographic documentary. You're surrounded by towering trees, thick vines, and exotic wildlife at every turn. But here's the real reason why Maquipucuna is unlike any other cloud forest. It's the best place in the world to see wild Andean bears. Yes, you read that right, bears. Every year during the avocado season, dozens of spectacled bears, think Paddington but real, emerge from the forest to feast on the trees. Watching these gentle giants climb, eat, and roam through the misty jungle is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Beyond the bears, Maquipucuna is a paradise for adventure seekers. Whether it's hiking through ancient trails, spotting over 350 species of birds, or listening to the eerie calls of nocturnal creatures as you sleep in an eco-lodge, this place is pure magic. If you're craving a wild, raw, and unforgettable cloud forest experience, Maquipucuna is where you need to be. Just don't forget your camera. You might just capture a bear staring right back at you. Bellavista Cloud Forest Reserve, Ecuador. Have you ever imagined waking up in the clouds surrounded by hummingbirds, mist, and towering trees? Well, at Bellavista Cloud Forest Reserve in Ecuador, you don't just imagine it, you live it. This place is a paradise for nature lovers. Located in the Andean highlands, Bellavista is where you step into another world, one where the trees drip with moisture, orchids bloom in hidden corners, and rare birds call from the foggy treetops. Every turn of the trail feels like discovering a new secret. But let's talk about the real stars here, the hummingbirds. Picture this, you're standing still, and suddenly, a dozen hummingbirds zip around you. Their wings moving so fast you can barely see them. They're tiny, dazzling, and fearless. Some might even land on your hand. It's like stepping into a fairy tale. And if you love adventure, Bellavista has some of the best hiking trails in the country. From easy cloud-kissed walks to deep jungle treks, you'll witness waterfalls tumbling through the mist, hidden caves, and bridges that seem to disappear into the fog. And after a long hike, the Eco Lodge here is the perfect place to relax, sip some hot chocolate, and just watch the clouds roll in. If you're looking for a cloud forest that feels straight out of a dream, Bellavista is waiting for you. And trust me, you'll never want to leave. Trifinio Fraternidad Transboundary Biosphere Reserve, Central America. What if I told you there's a place where 3 countries meet, and an ancient cloud forest thrives right at their borders? That place is Trifinio Fraternidad Transboundary Biosphere Reserve, a hidden treasure where El Salvador, Guatemala, and Honduras unite under a blanket of misty green. Walking through this forest is like stepping back in time. You'll find yourself surrounded by towering oak and laurel trees, their trunks covered in moss so thick it looks like velvet. The air smells fresh, damp, and earthy, the scent of pure wilderness. But the real magic, the wildlife. Hidden within the trees are creatures so rare you might feel like an explorer discovering them for the first time. 2-fingered anteaters move like shadows through the canopy, spider monkeys swing effortlessly between branches, and tiny frogs in neon colors hop along the trails. And here's something surreal. The mist here isn't just floating in the air, it moves. You can literally watch it shift and swirl around you, sometimes making the entire forest disappear in seconds, then revealing it again like nature's own magic trick. One of the best hikes leads to the Monte Cristo Massif, where you can stand right at the meeting point of 3 countries. It's an unreal feeling, being in 3 places at once, surrounded by nothing but silence, mist, and the untouched beauty of nature. If you're craving a wild, off-the-beaten-path cloud forest adventure, this is the place to find it. But be warned, once you enter, you might never want to leave. Nyungwe Forest National Park, Rwanda. Ever dreamed of walking through the mist while rare primates swing in the trees above you? Welcome to Nyungwe Forest National Park in Rwanda, one of Africa's last and most breathtaking cloud forests. This place is wild, untamed, and completely mesmerizing. Picture yourself hiking through a maze of moss-covered trees, dense jungle, and hidden waterfalls, while the air is thick with mist and the sound of nature fills the silence. But the real stars of Nyungwe, chimpanzees and colobus monkeys. This is one of the best places on Earth to trek through the misty jungle and see wild primates in their natural habitat. Imagine standing quietly as a troop of 50 or more colobus monkeys leap through the trees above you, their black and white fur blending into the fog. Or spotting a chimpanzee in the distance, watching you with intelligent, knowing eyes before vanishing into the shadows. And if you're up for a thrilling experience, don't miss the canopy walkway, a suspension bridge hanging 160 feet above the forest floor. From up there you'll see the entire cloud forest spread out beneath you, the mist rolling through the trees like an ocean of fog. It's one of the most breathtaking sights in Africa. Nyungwe isn't just a forest, it's an adventure. It's raw, mysterious, and unforgettable. If you're looking for a cloud forest unlike any other on Earth, this is where you need to go. Madeira's Cloud Forest, Portugal. What if I told you there's a place where you can walk above the clouds, surrounded by ancient trees, misty cliffs, and hidden waterfalls, and it's not in South America or Asia but in Europe? Welcome to the magical cloud forests of Madeira, Portugal, one of the most otherworldly places you'll ever step foot in. Madeira's Laura Silva Forest is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and for good reason. It's a living relic from the Ice Age, one of the last cloud forests of its kind in the world. Walking here feels like stepping into a forgotten kingdom, where trees twist into fantastical shapes, moss-covered rocks line the trails, and waterfalls emerge like hidden secrets through the fog. One of the best ways to explore, the levadas. These are ancient water channels that run through the mountains built centuries ago. Now, they're some of the most beautiful hiking paths in the world. Follow them, and you'll find yourself deep in the mist, crossing wooden bridges, walking through tunnels, and reaching jaw-dropping viewpoints where the clouds swirl below you. And let's talk about the mist. It's alive. One minute you're walking in bright daylight, the next you're completely enveloped in fog so thick it feels like a dream. It's eerie, magical, and unforgettable. If you're looking for a cloud forest that feels like it belongs in a fantasy novel, Madeira is where your adventure begins. Just be ready to lose yourself in the misty magic, because once you step in, it's hard to leave. The world is full of hidden wonders, and these cloud forests are just a glimpse of nature's magic. Which one would you love to explore first? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this adventure, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us at Explore Edge for more incredible journeys.